So if you will go ahead, and it'll take you just a second to fill that out. And
so I have a question.
Yes.
When you say sign in using the QR code, you mean just do it with our phone?
Yes, just with your phone.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to put the link in chat also, so you can just click on it if you're in your on your computer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It'll take you right to it. I was just grabbing it real quick. So if you have your phone and you want to do it with a QR code, that's perfect. If not, the link is in the chat and you are welcome to use it that way.
Okay.
Anna is recording this. Thanks for turning that on, Anna. I forgot all about it again. So Anna is recording this so that we can use it in the future for any folks who need to join who were not able to jump in today. All right, so is everyone signed in? Austin, you have a question? Go ahead. Just turn on your mic and chit chat with us.
Yes, ma'am. Quick question.
Sure.
So last year I was using a mentor who was my actual mentor at the school when I was doing the first year mentoring program.
Sure.
I talked to him and asked him if he could continue being my mentor while I finished up this program, and he said that's fine. But you said that Teeter was our mentor. So I'm just trying to
district mentor, and then some of you I know have a site-based mentor. So if you want to include your site-based mentor, that's perfect.
So for the Google form that we're filling out, that's for our district-based mentor.
Yes.
You can put both of us if you want to, or you can just include your site-based, Austin, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
You can list your site-based one if you want, because I already have Teeter's information, so I can always reach out to her. She's been great. So just to take any stress away before we even get started, everything that you have done in the PDCP system will still be there. Everything that you uploaded in the old system or that you emailed to Sandy or Vaughn, Vicki or Vaughn, all of that it's in there. It will stay housed in there. You do not have to go back and revisit that. For anything that you haven't scored a 3 or a 4 on, or any new work that you've done, we're going to upload those things into the new system, which we'll walk through today. So in the next day or two, my goal is to go back and pull all of your old numbers. So if you got a 3 on something or a 4 on something, I'm going to go back and pull that and update it in the system so that when you're looking at your grades, you see what's been completely finished. So I just want to put that out there right up front so that you don't feel nervous that you're going to have to upload everything or anything like that. So we're starting kind of at the starting point for you and moving forward, and I'll go back and grab all of your old stuff and put it in this system. So are there any questions about that? It's okay, Andrea, don't stress. Just write down the codes, and we don't want to make it any harder than it is, okay? Our goal here is to make this more simple, to make it really straightforward, and to provide some additional support for you that you might not have gotten in the past. So my name, well, let's start with Anna. Anna, go ahead and share. Andrea, we'll catch up with you. Please don't stress about anything. We'll work it out, I promise.
Absolutely. Right, hi, good afternoon. My name is Anna Arnold. I'm the manager of instructional special projects at NEFAC, and I've been working with PDCP probably the last 5 years. I've been at NEFAC for 20 years and been supporting human resources efforts for a long time. So just want to say welcome to all of you. I'm happy that you're participating in PDCP, and if there's anything that Suzanne or I can do to make your time in this program work better for you, please let us know. We're here to support you.
And I'm Suzanne Beck. I am a program development and training specialist here at NEFAC with a focus of PDCP alone. So my last few years, I worked as an elementary school teacher, my years in the classroom, and then I came to I was very excited about supporting new teachers, and so I was part of the group in Putnam who were the first novice teacher mentors, and I got to work just with new teachers. I didn't have a classroom any longer. There were 17 at our school out of 25 that were in their first 2 years of teaching. So we had a very young staff in terms of education. So I got to just support them, and I did a lot of coaching that year, a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of helping put up bulletin boards, a lot of handing people tissues. I mean, you guys all know how this feels in your first year or two. It's tough. And so I was able to support them in that way. And then I came to NEFAC as a program development and training specialist on the instructional side. And we do a lot of professional development. We work a lot in groups that are collaborative across all of our districts. And I ended up, because of my background, I spent a lot of time supporting new teachers in districts. And so last year, my husband and I moved to Northeast Georgia, and I had the privilege of working at Toccoa Falls College as a professor. And ironically, I ended up with the majority of my day was spent working with those teachers in their senior year that were in their internship and learning to become new teachers. So when I called Anna and said, hey, I think I'm moving back. And she said, oh my goodness, there might be a position open. And so anyway, I'm very thankful to be back at NEFAC and in Florida and serving with new teachers again. So I'm really grateful to be here. In the meantime, I had been transitioning this system from the old system that the state had, which was not an LMS. And you guys may have experienced that you emailed a lot of things back and forth and you got your feedback through email, and we're doing away with all of that. It will be uploaded to a system that's pretty straightforward. You'll get your email, your feedback within the system, and everything is kind of in one place. So we're hoping to make this a little more user-friendly for both you and for the person assessing it. So I'm excited to hear from you and see what works and what doesn't work and what makes it easier and what maybe you need. So just as a reminder, there are 20 tasks. They all have to be submitted and approved. That means you have to make a 3 or 4 on all of the tasks. And then your requirements for, and I wouldn't have necessarily gone into detail on this, but someone just mentioned that they didn't know they needed reading competencies. So I wanted to make sure and mention these. You have to have passed your general knowledge test, which are the reading, math, and writing. If you have a master's degree, that is not required. Your subject area exam has to be passed, and then your professional. And then you have to do reading endorsement competencies. If you're at the elementary level, you have to do 1 through 5. You may only have to do 1 through 4, depending on when you started. And then at the secondary level, most of you have to do 1 and 2. So I do want to make sure that you're aware of those, and Teeter had a source that you guys were working with in your district to meet that reading endorsement qualification. You will get a certificate from that and you will upload it to the system, and I'll show you where to do that when we get in there. You also have to have that professional education exam, or if you have a highly effective rating or evaluation, summative evaluation, the year prior to your temporary renewal, then you can use that and you may not have to take the professional. So that's something I would get with Teeter on if you feel like that might affect you. So are there any questions so far? Everybody feel pretty good? Austin, did you put your hand up or was it already up? I can't tell. I'm sorry.
I think I had it left up, but I meant to ask a question anyways.
Right.
For the reading competencies, I sent an email to the two people that we were told to contact last week. I think Teeter sent me an email about that.
Okay.
I know it was said for the program that we need to do the reading competencies, but after checking my educator certification plan from my school for my subject area, it said that I don't need any reading competencies for my certification. So do I
You-
still need to do the competencies for the PDCP program?
You need to talk to Teeter because they are required
Okay.
as part of PDCP, to my knowledge. So unless she's
Okay.
aware of something different than that, in order, and what PDCP does is it basically says that you have accomplished all of the tasks that someone with a teacher degree, you have the same level of understanding. So that's really what this certification does. And it's been really interesting for me coming from the college world where I was working with interns, because these are all the same exact tasks that I did with them. And so it's really that boots on the ground. What are the educational best practices that are required? And in the state of Florida, everyone coming out of college has to have at least reading comp 1 and 2. So I'm not sure what area you are certifying in. But my understanding is everyone is required to have 1 and 2 at this point. So you might check with Teeter though, if you feel like that's not correct. Okay, she
Okay.
would be the expert on that for you in your district.
And that's my understanding as well, that he would,
Okay.
and since he's secondary, that he would, need CompC 1 and 2.
Okay,
That's right.
all right.
Okay.
So thanks, good question. And if anybody has anything like that, we'll definitely work through it. So my goal for you is to get these 20 tasks completed this year. And I'll talk to you in just a few minutes about that support that I'm going to offer this year that hasn't been offered in the past. Some of you may have done some of these tasks and it might not be important for you to attend all of them, but I am going to offer some 8 virtual sessions where we will cover the biggest majority of these tasks. And then we have some face-to-face things also. If you participate in all of those, we will get through 15 of the 20 tasks together. And my goal is by the end of that session, that virtual session, for you to be able to kind of wrap up, and at least there may be something you need to take back to class to do, but you would have all of the pre-work done and be ready to do that in your class time. So we'll talk more about those in just a few minutes, but I feel like if we do that and you kind of keep pushing through and stay on track with our timing, that you will be able to finish PDCP this year without it being a huge burden. I know that as new teachers, sometimes I'll be honest, I was alternatively certified. I did an EPI program years ago. I didn't even know about PDCP. But whenever I started education, even with an EPI program, there were so many things I just didn't know. And so to give me a book and tell me to read something was overwhelming because I just didn't have the background needed. So that's what I'm hoping to do with these virtual sessions, is give you a little background, help you understand what's being asked of a task, help you kind of set up those pieces while we're on the call, and then you can go back and finish it or wrap it up and then upload it. So we'll talk a little bit more about that and look at that handout in just a minute. Teeter has gone over a suggested timeline with you as far as your SOE, your statement of eligibility. So if you have any questions, we're more than happy to send that to you. And I'll also show you where that is in the system once we get in there. Mentors, it is required that you meet with your mentor at least once a week. Their goal is to log those log those meetings, to support you through PDCP, to support you with your classroom stuff, just to make sure that you have that reinforcement that you need. So I think, if I'm correct, most of you have a school-based mentor, and then you also have Teeter. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so those folks are there for you, and those minutes do need to be logged to make sure that everybody is getting the support that they need. So if you're a mentor, do we have mentors on here, or just the first or second year teachers?
I don't think it's any mentors on, Suzanne.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to zoom through that. So this is that calendar of support that I'm offering, and I'll show you in the system where it is and where you can go to register for them. But we have 8 virtual sessions. Actually, let's just go on and we'll look at it when we get in the system. Is everybody good with that? Yes, okay. All right, so if you did not create a NEFAC account, I want you to go in and do that really quickly. You're going to go to nefac.org. Up at the top right-hand corner, it's going to say log in or sign in. And then when you click that button, it will bring you to a box that looks like this. If you had a previous NEFAC account, which you may not have at all, then you will sign in here. If you need an account, you're going to click sign up. So if it says you don't have an account, go ahead and click I need an account, sign up here. It'll take you just a moment to fill out that. I think it's 3 or 4 questions, and then you just click sign in. So you will need to be logged into your NEFAC account to do the next step. So if you'll let me know, Andrea, I know you said you were struggling with it. If you would turn on your mic and let me know when you're in or if you need help.
I've got an account.
Okay, awesome. Anyone else that is signing in right now, would you just turn on your mic? I don't want to hold everybody up if everybody's good. So if you need a NEFAC account and you want us to hold that for a second, turn on your mic and let me know. Austin, do you still have a question or was that from earlier?
Sorry, I forgot
That's
to lower
all
it
right.
again.
No worries. All right, then we're going to go on and move forward. I want you to go into your URL, your line at the top where you do your searches, and you're going to type in campus1.nefec.org. campus1.nefec.org. Can you tell me what you see? Someone turn on your mic and just tell me what you're looking at.
Practice connected support 22-23, Role Connect 22-23, professional development program, certification program, sorry, substitute training for NEFAC districts, and progress monitoring digital supplement.
Awesome. If you will go ahead and turn on your, go ahead and click on the one that says professional development support, and what it kind of looks like this. If you'll go ahead and click on that, it doesn't have this at the bottom, but it looks like this at the top. Go ahead and click on that, and it's going to ask you to enter a code. Here's your code, all capital letters.
Will it say self-enrollment participant?
Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead and type in there PDCP-SUM for Sumter. And once you're in, kind of give me a thumbs up that you are good to go. Is everybody looking at a screen that looks like this? Awesome, Amber. Awesome, Austin. Awesome, Andrea. So I'm going to go ahead and type in to the chat the enrollment code in case you need it, if you haven't gotten in there yet. And I'll type in there also campus1.nefec.org. That way, if you still need to get in there, you can. We're not holding anybody else up and not making you feel nervous. Is everybody getting in? Kara, I see you're in.
Jake, can you get me some chocolate?
Frank, you're in.
That second cabinet at the end there? In the second shelf in that thing.
Um, all right, it looks like most folks, anybody not in, then you need us to wait a second. If you need us to wait, just turn on your mic and let us know.
Could you go back over where we put the code in?
Yes. So when you log in, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and it will look something, yours looks a little different than mine, but it'll look something like this at the bottom. And sometimes, let's do it in, it may look, depending on how you have different options sometimes than what I have, but it looks some sort of this, and you'll click on this blue box that says Professional Development Certification Program. And when you do, it opens up at the bottom and says enrollment code or enrollment key. Do you see that, Kathleen? If you don't, you might want to hit home over here. Do you see the little house? Someone the other day from your group had trouble getting in, and I don't know if it's the way your school kind of sets up the parameters of what you can see. But if you can get in, click on Site Home, and it takes you back to a screen that looks like this. And then if you click on this box, then it opens that enrollment key option.
Okay, it definitely helped. I went to Site Home and I was able to self-enroll.
Okay, awesome. Good. So someone else, what school are you with?
South Sumter Middle.
So I don't know, sometimes it's the tech people have put on different parameters, and maybe for middle school, they're like, oh, those middle schoolers, they can get in anything. So they have a different, I don't know what it's called, like web version or something that they block. And so maybe that's what it is.
Different mentality over here for sure.
For middle versus elementary, for sure. So, okay, so is there anyone else that's having trouble getting in? All right, so the first thing I want to do, if you notice here, your blocks are grayed out. So in order to ungray those, I need you to click on this first one that says Sign Code of Conduct, Moodle Overview. Go ahead and open that. The first thing I want you to see here, there's a little course information mini book. If you click on that, it's going to let you walk through, and this just kind of gives you my information. It tells you about some Moodle icons. It talks to you about the assignments and the coding. Again, it gives you my email address. My email address is all throughout here, so please feel free to email me anytime. When you're finished with the book, you can always click this little up arrow and it takes you right back to this screen. But what I really want you to do, I want you to click on this one that says Code of Conduct, Code of Professional Conduct and Statement of Understanding, and click on that link. It's going to open a screen. And I want you to go ahead and open this. This is your code of conduct. It's the requirement saying you need to be careful with the things you do. Don't plagiarize, all of those good things, academic misconduct. Don't be mean to other people. Don't cheat, no collusion, all those good things. And then I need you to take a quiz. You will have an option here to take a quiz. If you will, go ahead and click on that button. The quiz is 3 questions and it says, I read the code of conduct, I understand the code of conduct, and I promise to follow the code of conduct. So I'm going to give you a minute to read through the statement and mark true on all of those. And then you have to submit and then finish and submit. So you have to hit submit twice. So I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes to go ahead and do that. Once you're finished, if you will, just go into the reactions up at the top and give me a thumbs up. I just gave you that up there. Awesome. I see a thumbs up in person. That's even better. I love thumbs up in person. So if you will just go in and give me some form of thumbs up so I know we can move on. See a couple of you finished. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So here I want you to see as we go kind of how you can navigate through Moodle. You have an option to come back up to go. This takes you to that main screen, or because we're moving through this tile, that Moodle overview tile, you can click this button right down here that says new teacher first year training teaching reflection survey. So I want you to take just a minute, if you will, click right here. There's a 12 question survey. It's super easy. It really, your email, I'm stuttering all over. Your email is not attached to this. This is completely just you as a participant randomly answering these questions. It just gives me a good idea of who all is in the Moodle and what level of maybe frustration you're at, maybe elation you're at. But if you would take just a minute and walk through these 12 questions and just give me some insight into your history. So I'm going to we're going to come back together at 5:06. 5:06.
Miss Beck, I don't
Yes.
mean to have a problem and be your problem child.
That's okay.
I typically am everybody's problem child because things only happen to me apparently.
Well, I'm glad that it's nothing new.
I'm not shocked or surprised. But it's wanting me to sign in to continue, or else I have to report abuse to be able to do the little survey. And it happened with me with the previous survey. That's why I was unable to do it.
Okay, so you might be,
Yeah.
are you at the same school as Kathleen?
Yes.
Kathleen, can you get in? Okay, so what
I'm
I'm
also at that
thinking,
school. You have to have a Google account, and we don't use Google accounts, but I have a personal one. So I just logged into my personal, and it's letting me go in that way.
Well, I
perfect.
don't always remember my personal account information, so it's going to be a long road, and I don't need a long road on Monday.
So I'm going to need you, Andrea. It's okay for this. This is really just for my information, so it's not a problem. But in order for you to do the virtual sessions and sign into those and do the evaluations, I am going to need you to have a Google account for that. So
I'll
for
reset it
today,
tonight
it's
and
okay.
write it down.
Yes, so for today, it's okay, but maybe put a sticky note somewhere. I actually use notes on my phone because I can never remember my passwords. So anyway, it's okay
It's
for
on my
today.
desk
Again,
at
Andrea,
home,
I don't want to
so
stress you. No stress at all. So Kathleen, if you have a Google account, you could get in that way and go ahead and do it. If you don't, no worries. Again, this survey truly is just information for me. So we'll come back in 1 minute. We'll come back together. And while we're doing that, I'm going to log in as a participant. All right. So I want you to just watch for a few minutes. You're welcome to play along with this, but I find sometimes if I play along, then I missed whatever the next step was. So I just want you to watch, and then I'm going to let you play for just a minute at the end and see if you have any questions. So the first thing I want you to see, this is a former participant. He has done some of the task. So I want you to see here, he had already done his, when I go to grades, I have already moved over his grades that he completed. So he had already done this task, which was classroom management. He had already done the practicing the standards and the FEEPs and the beginning work plan. So once I have time to move over all of your work, it will all show up here in this grade section. Okay, so you can see here what he has accomplished. And I made a little note here, completed in the old system. I'm not moving over your task. I'm not moving over your paperwork, just moving over your grade. So the old tasks are still in the old system. They will not be done away with. I've talked to DOE. They are great with the way this is going to be handled. So just to relieve your mind, once, and I'm going to ask you to give me a week to get everything moved over. You can be working on new tasks if you want to, but in order to get everything moved over, it'll probably take me a week or so. Just because I'm doing orientations back to back to back. And so I'm trying to get you guys entered tomorrow morning before the next one tomorrow afternoon. I want you to see though, how these are broken down. So whenever I look at PDCP, again, I clicked on this link up here because to me, that's the easiest way to get back to the main screen. Now that I've done the code of conduct, everything should be unblocked. So you're just going to, you can start here. This is just a little book. You navigate using the arrows either at the top or the bottom, or you can use your table of contents over here on the side and you can walk through them like that. Once you get to the end, if you click this arrow, it's going to take you back to that main screen. Or I can scroll down and go into my next task. So here we go. Block 1, task 1 is implementation sequence. So we'll look at the numbering of these, but I wanted you to see this took me into the block 1 task. I'm going to click back to PDCP just so you can see this is the one I had clicked on and that's what's opened, but I transferred automatically by clicking that bottom tab into block 1, task 1. So you can kind of navigate 2 different ways. What I want you to see here, we have block 1 task, just like you did in the old system. Block 1, task 1 is implementation sequence. We've got our FEEPs as the next piece, our glossary is the next piece, and then block 1, task 1, activity 1 or assignment 1, whichever way you want to read that. So he has already done this. So he's received a grade and he has a check mark for it. So you're just going to walk through. There's not a requirement as far as following these in order, except for a couple of them. So we'll talk about those briefly. So professional development goals and strategies, you have to do first before you can do the professional development goals and strategies that falls into block 3. So there's a prerequisite for this one. Something I have done that is different, and for that first virtual session, we're going to do number 1, 2, 3, and 7. So we're going to cover 4 FEEPs, and by the end of that day, you should be able to be finished completely with 4 out of the 7 out of the 20. So you should only have 16 left after that day. But when you look at your communication plan, this is the little bit of an overview of what you get in this section. It talks about your resources are here. It gives you your FEEPs that are assessed. It gives you your glossary. And then what I've done, I don't know if you have looked at this one in the old system, but all of the requirements were listed on one page. And to me, it was really a little overwhelming. So, okay, I see people nodding. So I hope that if it was overwhelming to you, this makes it easier, but if not, give me some feedback, okay? I broke those into parts. So part 1 is your syllabus. Here's your classroom syllabus. Here are the requirements for the syllabus. Here's your rubric for the syllabus. You have one thing you're looking at to make sure that you have it. I'm glad to see you say that, Andrea, because I've been really questioning if this was going to be helpful or not. So
I was
then,
so confused last time because it was here, there, and everywhere, and it was just hard to focus in. And that was my whole problem with doing it, was I'm already cattywampus. I don't need any more cattywampusness. I need something to phone me in.
I'm with you, sister. When I was doing this, I actually called Anna when I was moving it over in the summer. I actually called Anna and said, oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time understanding this, and I know what the tasks are expecting. So I think this will be an easier system. Your feedback will be marked right here at the bottom. So here's you can print your rubric if you're a person who prints it, but if you're not, it's right here on this page. Once I grade it, it actually marks it here. So if he gets a 4 here and he has some comments, they show up right here on this page. If he gets a 2, it shows up that he has a 2 and he needs to redo it. Again, the comments are right here, and he just goes right back in and uploads it right here in the same place. So then I grade it right here in the same place and mark it as a 4. So my hope is that this is much easier. Once you do this submission, you're going to go to the next page and you'll do the next part. So this one includes a welcome message and your classroom orientation open house. It gives you the qualifications for that. Here's your rubric, and then you're going to come in and check yourself and then upload it. All right, so that's kind of the way it's set up. Again, I'm going to use the PDCP piece up here because to me, that's the easiest way to go back to these tasks. And it just walks you right through. All right, so are there any questions on that? As far as the tasks themselves, I am asking that you upload these. Let me go back to, and look at this. This is really cool. So I can scroll here, even if I'm in the task and I'm like, wait, I don't understand what that word was. I can scroll to the bottom and go back to the glossary or back to the FEEPs or back to this collaborating for student achievement. So I can come back here and find out anything I need to know, and I can navigate back and forth this way if that makes it easier for you. All right, I am asking that you upload these either in a Word document or a PDF document. I know some people don't use Word or PDF, but what happens then I can't open it or it makes it really garbledy. And so I wind up having to email you and say, hey, I can't open this. Would you please upload it in Word or PDF? So I am asking that you do upload everything in one or the other so that I can access it. And then all of your feedback comes in right here on this page. So any questions right now?
I have a question.
Yes.
Imagine that. Are we still doing the cover pages?
No, all of that's gone.
Thank you.
So I'm trying really hard to make it easy, people. So there were some questions about demographics on those cover pages. Those are built into the task themselves. So for instance, on your unit plan, or let's look at differentiation. I think there's something here that had that built into it. Oh, it's not this one, of course, but it's built in when you click on it will be in this section if it's required. So it's not required on everything, and I don't think it's necessary on everything. So I really pulled it for the ones that it's pertinent to, that it's important for you to understand how to effectively do it, and how you're looking at this whole class picture. So that's actually built right in.
You better like this way, okay? The old way was.
So I think that's all of those pieces I wanted to cover. I do want to show you under testing certifications, you can come right in here instead of in the old way, you emailed them all to Vicki. And I'll be honest, I got some of those emailed this summer and I don't know how she kept track of it all because it was just constant bombarding, and some had one link and some of them had 15, and it was crazy just crazy town. So I want you to come in and upload each of your documents here. So if you got general knowledge ELA, or If you don't have to take general knowledge ELA because you have a master's degree, just upload your transcripts here so that I can send these to Teeter. She actually has access to them. And when she gets ready to send them to the state, she can just download them directly from here if she needs to. All right. So as you get your reading endorsement or your professional, everything gets uploaded here. The very last thing that you will do is you will come in here and do and I need to switch those. Anna, will you remind me to switch those? I just added your temporary certification document in here, and we need to put that at the top. But your PDCP completion document, you will click here. You will actually fill this out with your name, your school, what date your temporary expires. Some of you have extended dates because of the state extensions from COVID, and I don't have any record of what those are. So you will know those, or Teeter will know them. You need to talk to her if you don't know them. Your PDCP start date, your hire date, all of that's information I don't have. So in the past, Vicki emailed you or emailed Teeter and got that information. We're just going to let you fill it out because you're the one that should know it. Your dates for everything should be completed here. Again, all of those documents will have been updated or uploaded in the system. So everything should be here. I will verify that once you say, hey, Suzanne, everything's finished. I'll verify it and I'll notify Teeter that they are complete and either send the documents to her or have her go in and pull them. So everything will be right here in one place. Are there any questions about that?
I have a
Yes.
question. On the
Okay.
transcript, do you know how you can request it from the clearinghouse? Do you need them like that, or do you need, is a copy that I have okay? How is that going to work?
Teeter, do you know the answer to that question? Is she still on here?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. I don't know what the districts are required to have, so Teeter would be your best answer for that.
Yes, I mean, are you talking about your actual scores themselves or?
Well, I have my degree. I did take all of these exams and then they changed the thing, but I needed to take one more exam. So my degree allows me not to take some of those, and then I have my other one. So my question was, does you need the clearinghouse transcript coming straight from the clearinghouse, or can you take a copy of it from me, the transcript?
So do you need an official copy or do you need just the one that she can download from her system?
I've never downloaded the actual transcript itself. I just actually did just the actual FTCE, the exam, whether you pass. So I never actually downloaded the actual transcript itself.
So right here where you have for general knowledge ELA, if you have a master's degree, you're not required to take the general knowledge test. What are you taking to prove that they have a master's degree? Or have you not run into this scenario? That might be the case, that you just haven't run into this scenario yet.
Well, yes, like for a master's degree, if it shows whenever they fill out their actual original app and it has in their credentials that they received their master's degree, and then we'll use that. But I haven't had to send up anything. If they let me know they have a master's degree, I'll go look at their original app just to verify that. And then, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't came to a situation that I had to send the actual transcript to the state.
Okay, Anna, do you know the answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up on what it says on the DOE website, but DOE does need an official transcript. So let me
mine
just do
is
a little
already
bit of
loaded onto the DOE, so like mine's already there. So they've already verified my
They already
transcript
have it
because I
then.
have a letter from them. So do I need to put it on here too then, is the question?
no,
So
as
if
long
you
as
have
it's
a
in
letter-
Versa.
If you
Right.
have a letter from DOE, if you'll just upload the letter to DOE.
Okay.
I mean, from
put
DOE,
on
that
there.
would be great.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that's kind of, some of those are a little muddy because some people only have to have 2 reading competencies, some have to have 5. Some have qualifications that allow them. So for instance, on the highly effective piece, if you upload something that says I was highly effective, in the blah, blah, blah to blah, blah, blah school year, I'm totally good with that. What's going to happen is I'm going to download it to Teeter. She will verify everything, but the more information you can put in there, the easier it is for her to verify. So, however that works, that you can be really clear on, works for me. And you don't really get a grade for that. It's just kind of a check that, hey, you've got it in there. So what I wanted you to see, we are going to do those support sessions. So I want to talk about those, and let me go back. I can't talk about things and do them at the same time. So right here where it says register for support sessions, in this block, it has the support sessions that I'm going to offer. And so here are your virtual support sessions in the yellow. There are 8 of them. And they have beside them the FEEPs that are going to be, the tasks that are going to be covered within that session. So for instance, if Andrea's already done task 1, task 2, task 3, and task 7, she probably doesn't want to attend this virtual session. But if she hasn't done those, she would want to attend that session. What I'm trying to do is kind of create this like a college class, that you can come to this 1-hour session, and at the end of this 1-hour session, if you don't have it completely finished, you at least understand what the expectations are and you've had some time to work on it. So for instance, with this one, we're going to talk through it. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to wrap it up because these are really super short. I'm going to give you 5 minutes on this one. I think it was about 10 minutes on this one and 10 minutes on this one. And then we'll spend some time kind of breaking this one down and making sure you have all of the things that are needed. And then you'll upload all of those when we get off the call, and you'll be done with 4 tasks. So differentiation is a little different because in block 1, the differentiation is this global look. What do you need to look at when you're looking at the demographics in your class? And then in differentiation block 2, you're actually choosing 2 students and you're digging a little deeper with that one. And so you're looking at, what am I going to do? What strategies am I using for these 2 students to be able to meet their needs? And then I'm tracking that over 4 weeks. So we will in this session, we'll do number 1. We will look at number 2. You will choose your 2 children and your strategies you're going to use. You're going to take that away for 4 weeks and finish it. So each day you'll work with the student, or every 2 days or whatever that is. And then you'll track that data. And then you will finish it by looking at block 3 and saying, okay, in block 3, it takes it back to this bigger global perspective and says, now how do I plan all of my lessons embedding the needs of these 2 students? So it kind of goes global and then goes smaller and then goes back global again. So there's work that you will do outside of it, but we will talk through the requirements. We'll look at the resources. We'll help you plan that while you're on the call. Then you'll take it, you'll finish it, and then you can upload it. So I'm not saying that you'll be completely finished, but you'll at least have some support with each of the tasks as we go through. So here are the virtual sessions, and I'll show you in just a minute how you register for those. We also have some new teacher network meetings. So this is a face-to-face situation. They are in Bradford County. You would need to have principal approval because they are school days and you would need a sub. So if you're interested in doing this, there is a 60-person limit. So you would need to talk to your principal ASAP. But we will primarily, these sessions are always really fun because you kind of have that understanding that everybody's feeling the same way you do, while you're getting some professional development around things new teachers need. So of course, the first one is always going to be classroom management. We will talk a little bit about data and progress monitoring in each of them. But there will be some specific time for PDCP folks to be able to meet and work through that task that day. So that's kind of our goal. If you attend both of these, we will have supported you through all but 5, and you can see the 5 listed in the orange that we're not supporting you with. So if you're going to jump on and do some things, I would jump on and start working on these other 5. Professional development goals and strategies, for example, you're looking at where do you think your struggles are and what are your goals for the year around that struggle? That's not something I can really help you with. So some of these are really ethics. It's something you read and kind of work through. It's nothing that I can really give you knowledge on or help you with. So that's kind of the goal. The bottom 2 things on here are to be certified as a mentor and 4 mentors that are PDCP mentors. So I'm not even going to talk about those today, but I do want to show you where you go to register. So when you click on this tile, register for support sessions, here's your calendar of support. Here's your virtual support session registration link. You're going to click on that. It opens you to a little box here. You're going to click there. And then when you see all of these links, you choose the ones that you want to register for. You click on that link and it takes you directly to the NEFAC website and you just click register here. And then you get an instant email saying you are registered for this session, blah, blah, blah. And the morning of the session, I will send you a virtual link to attend. All right, so that is the support sessions that we're going to have. We are going to record any of those video sessions, those virtual sessions. We'll record those. We know a lot of you are coaches or you are band people. I don't know what you call that, band leaders maybe. You are band people. You might do after school tutoring, something like that, and you just cannot attend these 4 to 5 sessions. We are going to video those, record them, and drop them in the video repository so you'll have access to them. And oh, my goal with that, if you are not able to attend the virtual session and you have not done that task, I'm going to ask you to set a goal that before the next virtual session, you've watched that video and you've done the work. So I'm going to say that for your mentor's sake. Teeter, I would like for you to send that maybe to all of the mentors that they're working with in their schools so that someone kind of helps stay on top of you, if you will. It's really easy. I know your lives are packed and there's so much going on every day in your life that it's hard to add one more thing. But I do want you to hear these things are important, and these are the pieces that teachers walk out of college with. And I want you to have this knowledge. So don't put it off. Make a plan that you are going to do this piece before the next virtual session happens to keep you in that cycle or that flow. So are there any questions about any of the system, the login, the support, where to register, how to see your grades, any of the above?
I do have one quick question.
Yes.
I know that a couple of the tasks that I was kind of in the middle of didn't probably get all the way graded because I had submitted some and then she wanted me to change some. Do you want me to redo the whole task?
No, just resubmit whatever your final, if you've redone what she told you to redo, upload
Okay.
that.
Okay, and I forget which one.
That's okay.
So
That's okay. Once I move over everything, you'll see what has been done. And then
Okay.
you can kind of start from there looking for things that I think when you look at the task, you'll go, oh, I already did this. So then you'll go looking for it.
All right, thank you.
Sure. I do want you to see when you log in each day, if you would check the announcements. The slideshow from the full orientation, not the quick one that we did today, but if you have questions about PDCP, you could come back and look at this orientation. And then here's a Moodle how-to video. It basically walks you through what I just did, but if you get confused on something, you're always welcome to come back in and look. So, any questions? Anna put a note in there. You need a documentation of a master's or higher degree with an official transcript or credential evaluation from an accredited institution. And that is effective July 1st, 2021. So you will need those official transcripts. If the state already has them, then just send me a screenshot of what the state has either acknowledged or that they're in the system.
And they need to make sure Teeter knows as well too, Suzanne, so that when she signs off on their completion documentation, that she's aware of it.
Well, and that's the thing, if it's in that testing certification slot for the general knowledge or for the professional test, if it's highly effective, then it's kind of negated. Like everything will be in one place for Teeter and I both to have access to.
Perfect.
So just make sure you've uploaded them there. And I know with the GK, it is in multiple spots. So just take 30 seconds. It's a drag and drop system. It's not difficult at all. So any questions? If there are no questions, you guys are free to go. So thank you so much for attending today. Thanks for being part of PDCP, and then let me know if I can help you in any way.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Jesus.
Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
Hi, Mommy.
Austin, did you have a question?
Yes. So in the section to where we put like our testing certifications, and I know there's for the GK, there's multiple different sections.
Yes.
From the PDF document I can download that I was sent that says like pass for like ELA, writing, math, can I just take that same PDF and just put it for each one of those categories?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep, super
that works.
simple. So
Okay.
literally you're just gonna have to, once you do submit here, you'll just drag it from your taskbar or your desktop or whatever, drag it into the box that will open up, and then you hit submit and then go to the next one and do it. It won't take you 30 seconds.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that'll be easy. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, any other questions? Gonna stop the recording.